Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together step by step through each of the ABRSM theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. You can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. There's also a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can access information about the books that I have available there. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM music theory exam. It's full of hints and tips on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of the time on exam day when you're working through your exam paper. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that'd be really fab, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. And now we're going to make a start on this first paper, paper A of the 2015 set of past papers. So if you turn with me to page 2. Now the format of the exam has changed since this paper was first sat, and so the presentation of the paper is now slightly revised and some of the questions will have changed a little bit. Some parts are no longer relevant. However, this is still a really useful tool to get more revision in, so I would still recommend that you work through these older past papers as more practice, and it will still be a valuable help to you in preparing to take the exam this time. And so we'll work through this paper, but bear in mind the new layout as we go along. And so I always recommend that you try this on your own first of all. It doesn't matter if you make mistakes, it's much better to make mistakes and learn through those mistakes. You will learn it more actively than just by copying it through with me, which is a little too passive to learn it thoroughly. Always write in pencil. I use a nice sharp mechanical pencil so it stays sharp, and then you've got your eraser to hand, so it doesn't matter if you go wrong, you can just rub it out and try again. You will also perhaps need a ruler as well just to keep it neat and tidy. So I'm hoping that you've had a go of these questions yourself. If you haven't, if you want to just listen to perhaps the first few tips I give in working through the question, then you can press pause, have a go on your own, and then re-access into the video when you've had a go. So let's work through this together now. Question 1 asks us to add the time signature to each of these 3 melodies. So there are 3 separate melodies that will have 3 separate time signatures. So don't presume they all just follow on and miss marks by not adding all 3 new time signatures. So we are counting in crotchet beats or quarter notes in this grade all the time. So we know that our bottom number is going to be 4. And now we just need to add up how many crotchet beats or whatever adds up to that there are in each bar. And this first bar tells us quite easily we've got 1 here, 1 here and 1 here. So we've got 3 crotchet beats or 3 quarter notes in this bar. And if you look at the end, we can see very easily we've got a 3 beat note here. So that gives us the answer. So just look at the easiest bars. By all means double check. So in this bar we've got a 1 beat rest and a 1. And then here we got a 1. We can even sketch over the top just to keep a track on our maths. We've got a 1 beat here and then half as long again with the dot gives us another half. So we've got 2.5 so far, and then we've got a half a beat here that adds up to 3. And so pick the easiest bars, but by all means if you want to double check on the others, do so. Let's have a look at the next one. So I suggest this bar here gives us the answer easily. We've got a 1 here, a 1 here. These 2 half a beats give us 1 added together, and 1 here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know our time signature is 4 over 4. And we can double check in another bar. So here we got a 1 beat with a dot, which is worth a half because it's half as long again. We've got a half a beat here, a 1 beat and a 1 beat. So 1, 2, 3 plus 2 halves is 4. So that confirms our time signature. So we could just write the numbers 4 over 4, or alternatively you could write the symbol for common time. That would also be acceptable. Let's look at the next one. So I think this bar here gives us the answer quickly and easily. We've got a half a beat and a half a beat, which gives us 1. A half beat and a half a beat, which gives us another 1. So we've got 2 crotchet beats, 2 quarter notes, beats, and so that's 2/4. If you want to look at another bar, we've got a half a beat rest and a half a beat note. So add those together and they'll give us the equivalent of a crotchet beat or a quarter note. And we've got a half and a half again here. So there's 1 beat again, so that confirms 2 beats in a bar. Here we've got a 1 beat, and then the dot gives us an extra half a beat, and then we've got 2 quarter beats here. 2 quarters make a half. 1 1/2 plus a half gives us 2. And looking at the final bar, we've got a 1 beat here, a half a beat, and then a half a beat rest. 1 and 2 halves makes 2. So there we go, that's that question completed. Let's look at the next one. So we're still looking at time values and time signatures, but this time they've given us the time signature. We know that we should have 4 crotchet beats or 4 quarter notes in a bar, but we're required to add a rest at each of these 2 places to complete the bars. So these bars aren't complete. We need to do so by adding the appropriate rest. So we should have 4 beats, 4 crochet beats, 4 quarter notes. We've got 1, 2, 3 beats so far. We're a beat missing, and so the quarter note or crochet beat rest is this one. So that's now that bar complete. This one now needs completing. So we've got 2 beats here so far. We're 2 beats missing. Now you could be mistaken for thinking we need to add 2 crochet beat rests, but if you remember, the rule is that we can, in a bar of 4/4, so long as it doesn't cross over the middle of the bar, which it doesn't, we're exactly halfway point, we would put a minim beat or a half note rest to complete that bar. So that wouldn't be the answer that we're after. We need to show that in 1 rest. Let's move on. Now this is where the paper for the 2018 and onwards papers is changed. We're no longer required to write a 2-bar rhythm, so we won't do that. If you wanted to work through that in your exercise book in your music theory and practice, by all means do so, just to practice filling time value bars with certain time signatures and beaming in appropriate groups. But for the exam purposes, we don't need to do that anymore, so we're just going to skip ahead to the next page. So if you turn with me now to page 3, and we've just got a little bit of note naming. So we just need to be careful which clef we're in. And also, they're very helpfully said to, so give the letter names of each of the notes marked with a star. And it's also reminded us to include the flat sign where necessary. So here we have a key signature of B flat, so just be careful that we remember that. They very helpfully reminded us of that there. So we just need to bear in mind what the treble clef notes are, and we can work that out. They've even given us one here, so if we get stuck, we can just work that out. So we know that's an A, they've told us that. We've gone 1 note below A, and that's a G. If you find it hard to visualise that, you could always sketch out a piano keyboard before you start the paper. But also there's the little rhymes that will help us. We know that the lines go, every good boy deserves football, and the spaces spell face, F-A-C-E. So there's your F-A. So here we have every good, there's a G, 1 step below the A. Here we have a line, every good boy deserves football, F. Spaces spell face, F-A-C-E, that's an E. Here we have a line, every good boy deserves, that's a D. Every good boy, that's a B. However, that's not quite complete yet. It's a B flat because the key signature is active there, so we need to put the flat sign as they reminded us to do so. Carrying on, we've got a space, F-A-C, so that's F-A, there we go, F, and that's that one completed. There's a second part to this question though, where we're asked to draw a circle around 2 notes next to each other that are 1/6 apart. So we're looking for quite a jump. So that's too far. We've gone from F to F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's too far. So this is the next one that looks about the right distance. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not far enough yet though. So here, let's look at this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. We found it. That's that one. And so let's carry on with this next question. We're asked to reorder these in the correct order from the loudest to the quietest. So FF, fortissimo, is very loud. The next one is just loud. When you double the note, the letter, we say issimo, and that kind of means extra. So pianissimo is the quietest, quieter than piano, so we could perhaps even pop that in straight away. So let's now see what we've got left. We've got mezzo forte, moderately loud or middle loud. The mezzo means middle or moderately, so that's the next one. So we've gone from very loud to moderately loud. And so now we've got to see which comes first. We've got quiet or we've got moderately quiet. So moderately quiet is slightly louder than quiet. There's our piano, and then pianissimo is the quietest of all. So that's the end of that question. We'll look at the next questions in the next video. I do hope this is helpful to you. If you can give me a like, that'd be really great. That'd be encouraging to me. Please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. I hope that you're enjoying working through these. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. Please do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.